Let us see now about exercise. When you are supposed to do the exercise, maintain usual physical activity. Fasting does not mean that you divorce yourself from your routine jobs and activities. Regular light and moderate exercise is recommended. Rigorous exercise is not recommended, especially if you are on medication or on insulin. Moderate exercise can be done 1 to 2 hours after breaking your fast. Do not exercise before iftar, as at this time your sugars are very low. Remember to count Taraweeh as an activity. During Taraweeh, make sure you take a light meal, take plenty of water with you, carry sugar pills or medical bracelet with you. Please avoid spicy food because it gives you a lot of gas and burping. Avoid onion and garlic or anything that will smell and disturb other people who are praying beside you. Now look into diabetes, fasting, and medication adjustment. In addition to general advice about diet, exercise, monitoring blood sugar level, all the medications should be reviewed. Surprisingly, some medications are more likely to cause low sugar reaction, which becomes a significant barrier to continued treatment. So, people change doses and the timing of medication without seeking medical advice. They are sure that they can avoid unwanted and unpleasant effects of low sugar reaction, and they are sure that they will be able to continue to fast. But these medication doses and timing are very essential, and it should be addressed before the Ramadan starts with your family doctor. It is important to bear in mind that certain classes of medication are less likely to cause low sugar reaction and they require fewer adjustment. Conversely, others are associated with high risk of low sugar reaction, therefore need the dose and the timing or even adjustment, dose timing adjustment, or even avoiding it altogether. Let us look into detail. Type 1 diabetes or insulin dependent diabetes, the general recommendation is that not to fast because they are at a high risk group. If you decide to fast, then you should get very much familiar with the carbohydrate count and know the knowledge of signs and symptoms of a low sugar reaction. And you have to reduce your basal insulin by 20% and check your blood sugars more frequently. Type 2 diabetes generally considered safe to fast provided they are well controlled, proper medication adjustment is done and for the Ramadan, and they check their sugars frequently and they have the knowledge of low sugar reaction. Now, recommendations are done for the Ramadan depending upon the medication they are on. Diet control diabetics, dietary advice, and regular physical activity is sufficient. Whereas those who are taking metformin, either Glumetza, they may be taking either 1000 milligrams twice a day, which can remain the same, or if they are on 500 milligrams 3 times a day, then we need to adjust 500 milligrams only at Sahar, don't take any at lunchtime, and then 1000 milligrams at iftar time. The total dose will remain the same. But for prolonged acting preparation, which is called same metformin, but it is SR, which is slow release and has to be taken only once a day, the dose is taken only at iftar, not at sahri. Now, for those who are on sulfonine ureas, which is very high risk medication, and reducing the dose, especially if your hemoglobin A1C is less than 7.5, because that will cause low sugar reaction. It is better to get this medication changed to some other medication. Short-acting sulfonyl ureas or dimacron or globuride, they are taken twice a day. Morning dose should be reduced to half and evening dose, which is iftar dose, can stay the same. If they are long acting medication like gluconorm, then take it with the evening meal instead of a sahri meal. Other medication like Actos and Avandias, very good news for those who are on this. There's no change required if you are on Actos or Avandia, but you still need to be careful, check your sugars and get permission from your doctor. If you are on Victoza, which is called GLP-1 agonist, no change is needed. Very good news. However, this is causes side effects, severe nausea, then the dose has to be reduced. For GLP, there is still is still insufficient evidence available, and these ones are not much have been researched. Also, GLSGLT2 inhibitors during Ramadan. More research is required to see whether they are safe or not. DPP4 inhibitors like Janua and Trajanta, no dose adjustment is required. That means it is safe to take it. But medication like SGCT2 inhibitors, Invokana and Jardians, they are relatively new in Canada, but the doctors are using more and more in the last 3 to 6 months. And but the Canadian monograph has no recommendation for fasting. Generally safe for fasting, but dose should be well established before Ramadan start, ideally 2 months before. But there should be very big precaution because it causes dehydration with the fasting and fluid intake restriction, and this causing dehydration and fainting spell and ketoacidosis. I feel generally uncomfortable using this medication and advising people to fast on these Invokana or Jadians. Now, if you are on insulin, it is different. Long acting insulin, rapid acting insulin, or mixed insulin. Long acting insulin, like Lantus or Levemir, reduce the dose by 20% and take it at iftar. Don't do it yourself, check with your doctor. Rapid acting mealtime insulin, omit lunchtime, take only twice, Sahri and iftar. Novorapid, Humalog, TID meals with meals. That means instead of taking 3 times with a meal, you take twice with the meal, Sahri and Iftar. Mix insulin like Nova Mix, Humalog Mix, and Humalin. Normally larger dose in the morning, but best to change the basal insulin. If not possible to change, reverse the dose schedule. Take smaller dose at Sahri time and larger dose at Iftar time, and half of the Sahur dose. So medication can be adjusted and you can take it safely, or you could change your medication to something that is more safer. But the bottom line is diabetes can fast safely only if you pre-plan. And don't forget to talk to your doctor about it. Now let's see what is the summary. So let us conclude by doing the summary. Do istikhara before you fast. Test your sugar regularly. It does not break your fast. Do not fast if you are sick. Remember privilege given to you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Breakfast when you have to. Never stop your medication or adjust yourself without medical advice. Always carry glucose treatment. Carry medical bracelet. Do istikhara before you fast. Remember, you are accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the consequences of actions and for your choices. Now, what you have to ask the doctor prior to Ramadan? 1 or 2 months before Ramadan, go for a medical examination, either complete medical examination or annual medical examination. Get your eyes checked, get your feet examined, get your blood testing done by sugar, cholesterol, get your blood pressure under control, get your urine test. Medication should be reviewed, risk assessment for fasting, blood sugar monitoring should be done. You should get the proper dietary advice, and remember, lifestyle modification can be discussed with any medical profession. Explain to them what is actually the fasting entails, as it is different in different religions, so that they get a clear picture of it. Get individually tailored advice to prevent, to recognize, and to manage fasting. Treatment regime need to be tailored just for you. Remember to discuss about your occupation and your shift work if you have any with your doctor. Recommendation for safe fasting. Then sahur should be as late as possible, 2 to 3 meals after iftar. Daytime meals should be shifted to nighttime meals. And culturally important food, fried food, should be limited. Do not overconsume. Reduce salt. Avoid junk food, which will make you sick and sabotage the rest of your fast. Reduce processed food. Drink plenty of water. Limit caffeine intake. Check blood sugar levels. Wear medical alert bracelet. Carry dextrose or glucose tablets all the time. Avoid fasting on your sick days. Let us practice together. Empty our stomachs. Fill our hearts with love and sympathy. Fill our spirits with faith and piety. Fill our souls with peace and blessing. Fill our minds with wisdom and resolution. Fill our lives with peace and tranquility. Fasting, charity, and worship. A comprehensive training program for human personality. A program which is a divine program set for us to get the most benefit, physical, spiritual, and psychological. Let us make this Ramadan an annual occasion to revive the global brotherhood, an occasion to reaffirm our identity and unite our ranks. May we all emerge from this month rejuvenated with healthier mind, body, and soul, and victorious over our nafs. Allahumma barik lana fi Rajaba wa Sha'bana wa balighna Ramadan. Ameen. O Allah, make the month of Rajab and Sha'ban a blessing for us and let us reach the holy month of Ramadan safely. Ameen. Ya Rabbil Alameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.